Okay, so this is the job. This is my parents' house, and I came in yesterday and I power washed all of this, and it was all filled with dirt and weeds. I should have filmed every stage, but whatever. It was overgrown, muddy, and weeds in the cracks. Everything's being disjointed. The bands are falling apart. It's gonna be a wash, because back here there's migrating stones here on the slope. They're going down here. At one point, the previous owners, before my parents bought it, tried to reinforce it with old railroad ties, which is what my parents were gonna do. And this will be the first pictures. I did the whole thing. It was all very muddy, lots of weeds coming through the cracks. So stage one in fixing something like this without having to go back too far and redoing it or changing it is I used a really good power washer with the stripper, and you want to really, okay, here's an example. Here's a spot I missed. See this? That's what I'm going to have to come back with a chisel later when I'm in here and get that out with the chisel. Because it should all be like this. So basically all the years of dirt and tree debris, and you won't get all of it, but you're getting almost all of it right now. So this whole patio from the walkway up to here, I'm going to completely just put together and save. Even though it's migrated this far, it's up to him right now. I'm either gonna just put the side back up and square up the side and then fill all this in so it doesn't migrate anymore, or if he wants to spend a little bit more time, I'm gonna cut it down the middle, and as I go down the middle, I'm gonna fill and bring it all up, and it'll look brand new. It's gonna look real nice when it's done. So this is all completely be able to be saved. So I'm gonna save the walkway, and then what I wanted to do is take everything out here because there's a low spot back here and water gathers in the back. And since water gathers in the back here, it drains down here, creates issues, you get a lot of mud and everything, but for time and expenses, they're gonna let the water still pool here, and then I'm gonna create a better drainage out here. But then we're gonna take the step from here to here completely out. So this step will be gone, and then I'm gonna peel back the bricks from where they're starting to slope up till I get a good line. So right about here, maybe even here to be safe, but about here, and then I'll take this all out down to here, and then I'll probably take this one, because you can see down here it's starting to fall. So I'm going to go to a good line. That's a pretty good line, but even here, so I'll go to the nearest one that I know is going to be good, and then I'll go one more to be safe. So then I'm going to pull all this out. So that'll be pulled out, this will be pulled out, and then I'm going to level it and then use the proper sand and the proper technique, put it back in, and then I'm going to buy, or well, if he doesn't want to, I will, because I don't want to use railroad ties. They're too light, and yeah, you can drive them deep. I don't want to work with them. I'm going to put the edge stone in too high, so too high edge stone, and that's going to go up against there. Going to sink those deep. I'm going to put a little foundation with black dirt, ag lime, and then sand. Compress the black dirt, ag lime, sand. Put the stones down. Use the stone epoxy. Put them together, and the weight of that wall is going to keep that migration from ever happening again. Over here, it might be a little bit trickier to pull these up tight, but there's not going to be a big leeway of seam where we're going to build a new stair. So since I'm going to work the pathway all the way up to here and get tight, there's going to be this area where I'm going to pull in here to get tight. So once I pull it in to get tight, possibly a couple of these 4x4s that are solid and new, I'm going to then use leverage to wedge the 4x4 down. Basically, you can see someone at one point when they tried to fix it, they tried to wedge wood down into the there to keep the migration, but they put an untreated old crappy wood that the minute the wood rotted, which was expedited by the bad draining of the water and all the moisture that was being held in and the weight of the bricks that wanted to slide this way, that's not going to work. So one of those, they're not treated, so I might urethane it. If I urethane both those end by end and put them here, I bet they're going to fit. So maybe we'll be able to save some on that end of it. But that'll be the next video. We'll be tearing out over there. I'll wait until I get into it a little bit, so you'll be able to see some done and some in progress. And I'm going to refix. All of this will be fixed. Refix. Well, someone fixed it once, so I guess refix is okay. Fix this. Going to somehow cobble some wood in between here to butt against there, to butt against here to keep this square. Tear this, tear that, tear that. Get rid of the stair. Redo all brick. New wall here. So I guess I should come down here and get the other video. I'm going to take these stairs out because that's going to break my stepmom's ankle very soon. Deadly, especially when they're wet, and I've almost killed myself, but I get hurt all the time. So from that edge will be gone. These bricks will be straight and over to a stair here. Maybe I'm going to try talking about putting block stairs there. This will all be cleaned out, and it'll be nice stone, in my opinion, but it might be railroad tie. And then that sidewalk will be fixed. And then there's the deck that I did most of the labor, I should say. But I've never filmed it from down here. My dad did all the drawings and all the math and told me where to put stuff. But the old deck consisted of this, and then it ended at this little octagon, went up to that stair, and you can still come on this side and see the difference between the old and the new. So this was a straight rail, and that rail went over and connected to the octagon rail. So what we did is we cut the rail off. I put 3 4x4 footers into the ground and then connected right into the old deck. So there's the old deck, and there's where we put our bottom plank. So that would have been the side facing the woods. Now it's the under beam for these, which then span out to here. And they're lagged in. They go down into footers, and those footers are 5 feet in the ground. The bottom 2 feet are concrete, and then 3 feet up from the concrete's all filled dirt that was dug out. So the width of them, as far as code, I don't know, but definitely sturdy enough for its purpose. So then once the deck was extended from here to here, all this extra length, then they wanted to do a built porch, which obviously if you would have connected it to the house, it would have been in violation of code. If you would have had it be a walkout patio, you would have had to get a permit and inspections and everything else. So to get around all the permitting and everything, basically it's separate structure. It is touching nothing, and then the 2 roof lines meet. I gotta get up there with the blower and clean, but the 2 roof lines meet at a nice Lexan cover that goes into the gutter system. So whether it's raining or whatever, even though it's its own separate structure, it's not connected to the house. It's pretty much a breezeway. And if you wanted to, you could hang some plastic or even shower curtains or whatever on the ends, and you'd have a nice breezeway to get in and out. And then there's no glass or windows. It's all screen, and then we made the screens to fit the holes. So instead of having top, we figured screen tops would let more ventilation. So we have the open barn frame top, and then all the sides are open. And the whole idea, which is even more funny, is it looks pretty darn good when you look at it by eye and you look at it on camera. And then here's the inside. We, instead of putting a roof, we left it lofted. And then as the loft, the peak, we got a nice fan in. And then in the electronics box and everything, there's a time capsule. It has all the diagrams and everything. So after I'm dead, my family's dead, and someday, hundreds of years or even 20 years from now, or who knows, 2 years from now when everyone's dead and you're watching this, you can come here and get a time capsule from right up in this corner or that corner. There's a time capsule. It's got some stupid stuff in it. And then out here we got the outside fireplace. And so, like I said, I built it, but my dad did it. And even more funny is that you look at these nice square windows and nice triangle vents, and it looks like it's so well drawn out, and it was really drawn out. But what's even more funny is when putting in the screens, which I wasn't here for, my dad's measuring and putting in the screens, he said that there is not one window, not one triangle that is the same measurement. So since we worked from the ground up, and you got all kinds of warps in this wood, as long as we worked from the ground up and we kept everything square, it's nice and square. And I mean, it does not move at an inch. It's very, 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 very secure. We had really bad storms last night, and I mean, it's very solid and looks very square, but there's not one square window on that thing. Not one side the exact same, apparently. Even though it's only off by a little, it's still kind of funny to think that it's pretty, but it's not exact.